Welcome back. We're discussing the topic, the biggest mistakes that parents make. We've already discussed 3 top mistakes as per our research, and we now have to discuss the 4th one. The 4th one is slightly sensitive. Students said that parents often have conflicts at home right in front of our eyes, and then they become angry and they become upset, and they become noisy and they shout and scream, and sometimes it comes to blows. They push people around, and that really affects us because we feel scared, we feel insecure, and that really affects our performance a lot. So this was the complaint that they had. So I want to discuss this very interesting topic, yet sensitive topic, with a very experienced counselor, Mrs. Sudha Srivalsan. She works as a senior counselor at the Our Own English High School, Dubai, and she's a dear friend as well and a parent. So, ma'am, are you with us?
Yes, good evening, Sangeet.
Good evening, ma'am. Hope you had a lovely day at the conference.
Yes, of course. I just finished my conference and I am at Dubai right now. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you might be stuck in traffic and we're calling you from the taxi or something. I hope you can talk. Thank you. Ma'am, this topic is slightly sensitive. So my question is it okay for parents to have arguments or to fight in front of their children? Because let's be practical, all of us are stressed, and we live in small apartments, most of us. And it's very tough to restrain your emotions. So is it okay for parents to fight in front of their children?
It's a wonderful topic, Sangeet. And as a parent and as a professional in this field, I find it's absolutely not okay for parents to fight.
Okay.
And in case what you asked about is arguments.
Okay.
Okay, healthy arguments, that is healthy debates are okay.
Okay.
Are you able to listen to me?
Yeah, I am, ma'am. I can.
Okay. It's absolutely fine to have debate in front of the children.
Okay.
But one should see that the debate is not escalated to arguments, which in turn can escalate into a fight.
Okay. So let's say what you're saying is it's perfectly okay to have a difference in opinions, but then you should be able to meaningfully, effectively discuss that in front of our kids, but it should not escalate into a full-fledged war.
Absolutely. Difference of opinion, clashes do arise in a family, in a situation where two individuals are coming separately, born and brought up in a separate environment, coming and living together, raising their own family. Clashes will happen, but one should refrain from showing the emotions in front of the children. Okay.
Ma'am, I had actually asked a few of my good friends this question as to how often do you have loud arguments at home? And many of them said at least once in 3 weeks, and that is in front of...
Definitely. And that is more so after the arrival of the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the question is, let's say you've got your hormones raging and you're so angry and you want to fight, how do you restrain yourself is the question, because you don't want to do that in front of kids.
That's correct. It should not have any violent arguments, should not take. Okay? And in case if it is happening due to unavoidable circumstances, the best thing is to apologize to each other. And exhibit role model behavior.
Oh, yes. Could you elaborate a little bit on that, ma'am? Suppose, let's say, my wife and I, suppose we have a very loud argument and the kids happen to watch it and hear it. What do you think I should do next?
No, the thing is, you just talk to just try and stop the argument when you feel that the children are getting really petrified about the situation. Especially the younger ones who are watching that, they will really get frightened. Take the child away and tell them that these type of arguments are happening. But that doesn't mean that we don't love the papa and mama are having fights, but it is nothing to do with you. Give that support and support to the child.
Okay. I think it's perfectly okay to apologize, to one another. Let them see us doing that, and
Definitely.
True. And I think
the parent should be a role model for that.
Exactly, exactly. And I absolutely love the point that you made, ma'am, because, you know, in most of the parenting classes, people say dad and mom should have the same opinion. But I don't think that's practical, you know.
No, it is not at all practical. See, because we are both two individuals born, raised up in a different environment, coming to living together.
Okay.
And we do have clashes of opinions will be there.
True, true.
And it's a natural thing. There is no need to hide that kind of feeling in the family.
Exactly. I think it's more important.
The family will have, yeah.
Sure, sure. I think it's more important to teach our kids that we will have difference in opinions, but we know how to resolve them amicably and to reach reach common ground. I think that's the most important point. I think we lost Mrs. Sudhasree Valsan there. So let me thank her in absentia. Thank you, ma'am. I think the key point is you, of course, can have difference in opinions. The father wants to go to a mall, the mother wants to go to a park, and the kid is somewhere in between. It's perfectly okay to express each one's opinion, and you should openly, in front of them, respect each other's opinion and reach common ground. I think that's what we have to teach our kids. Now we come to the last biggest mistake that we make as parents. Of course not the last one, but because we wanted to compile the top 5, this is the 5th mistake. But if you ask me personally, I would say this is the number 1 mistake. And that's the reason I wanted to talk about it just before we logged off from the show this evening. Now, to shed more light on this particular mistake, before we do that, I would like you to take a look at this small video. This short video, please take a look, and we'll come back and we'll discuss this in detail. I was in the lift a couple of days back. I just got into the lift in my building, and I found a strange sight. There was a small child and a senior person, probably somebody in his 50s, and it was obvious that they were not having a very pleasant conversation when I walked in. The senior man's body language was slightly menacing, and the child was a little flushed. So I got concerned, and I said, "Is everything okay?" Okay, and that's when the senior person, who's probably in his 50s, explained to me, the moment he walked into the lift, the child asked him about his religion. The child asked him, "Are you a dash?" You can fill that with the names of all the religions that you know. Are you a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or whatever? Okay, and the man said, "No, I'm not that. I am and he gave the name of his religion, okay, which was different. And the child looked at him into his eyes and said, "I don't like you guys. You guys are bad, and you guys are going to hell for being from this particular religion." And this man was really shocked, okay, and when I had walked in, he was trying to explain to his child that he shouldn't speak like that. Now I was shocked as well, because this child probably was, 8 years or 9 years of age. And I'm just wondering what his parents could have done, what his relatives could have done to fill so much of hatred and intolerance into his brains, okay, at this young age. By the time the lift came to the ground floor, I had apologized to the senior person. He was telling me, "Why are you apologizing?" But I said, "I am, because I felt bad." And I was telling this child that the God Almighty looks at what's in here, rather than the tags that we all carry. But brothers and sisters, this is a mistake that many of us make as parents, okay? We all have prejudices. We all have our pet loves and our pet hates, okay? And probably we have reasons to have that, but let us not pass that on to our children. Let our prejudices die with us, because being prejudiced is not helping our children at all. It's definitely not helping our children at all. Today, as a corporate trainer, let me tell you, as a corporate coach, diversity quotient is considered to be a key strength in people's success. What do you mean by diversity quotient? Look at the kind of friends that you have. Let me ask you this question. Look at your Facebook friend list. how many of them are people from different communities? How many of them are people who are different from you? People who pray differently, people who eat differently, people who dress differently, people who speak different languages. The more diverse your network is, the more successful you will be. Why? Because number one, your exposure increases. Number two, your communication skills. When you communicate to people who are different, your communication skills increases. You get more creative ideas from them, and your interpersonal skills will also improve. That's why they did a famous experiment in Harvard. In one room, they kept all 40-year-old Harvard graduates, okay, all male, all whites, with similar degrees. In another room, they filled with drivers and fishermen and doctors and engineers and teachers and men and women and white and people from all colors. A very diverse room. And they give management problems to both to people in both these rooms. And they found that the room which had diversity were able to solve these problems much faster in a much more effective manner than the room with all whites with very similar backgrounds. So diversity is a key strength. How can we make sure that our children enjoy this diversity? First of all, dear brothers and sisters, let's stop making generalizations. Okay? Very often we make statements like all dash are like this, all dash do that, which is not true. Because we are saying this based on our limited exposure. And sometimes this prejudice is a bad thing. It makes you hate people. It makes you hate communities that you do not even know. So let us stop making these generalizations. Okay? Let us allow our children to discover. Let us allow our children to make their own decisions. Let them understand to their happiness that though we are all different, deep down we are all the same. The second thing is, please allow your children to have an extended friendship list. Let them befriend, let them move around, let them meet people who are very, very, very different. My father used to tell me, as a retired principal, he used to tell me, Sangeet, be like a compass. Okay? A compass has got two legs. With one leg, stay rooted to your values. One leg of the compass is fixed, you stay rooted to your values. But the other leg, you go around. So don't budge from your values, be who you are. But like the other arm of a compass, go around. Talk to people, embrace diversity, get to enjoy their cultures, get to understand their thoughts. And that can create an awesome impact on your own leadership skills and your own personal skills. So let us stop making sure that our kids move around only with people similar to us. Because if you do that, you know, they then tend to only move around with mirror images of their own selves, and then they'll build walls around them. And they will look at people outside those walls with hatred. We should help them to punch holes on these walls. We should help them to look outside and understand the beautiful, diverse world that is there. The third most important thing is, let's stop making racist comments and let us stop others from doing it. Even if it's a very senior person in your family, you know, please, you know, always have the courage to say, Uncle John is a racist or Aunt Fatima is communal. Yeah? And when people make racist comments in your presence, stop them. Because if you plant seeds of hatred in your kids' minds, seeds of intolerance in your kids' minds, then you're definitely crippling them. You're definitely stopping them from succeed. And whenever they understand that though people are different, but they are same, I think we are celebrating the spirit of our great country. We are celebrating the spirit of our great motherland, where we believe that unity lies not in similarity, but in diversity. Brothers and sisters, it was my pleasure to talk about these 5 greatest mistakes that we parents make. Hope you enjoyed the session. We would definitely love to hear from you, so you can see a telephone number and an email address and an SMS number below. Please do come back to us. Tell us what topics you would want us to discuss in the upcoming episodes of My Teacher. If you want to catch the previous episodes, they are available on the Facebook page of NTV, or you can directly connect with me on Facebook, Sangeet Ibrahim. All those videos are available on my page. So once again, thanks a lot. Let me thank Mrs. Usha Balachandran. Let me thank Mrs. Sudha Srivalsan for joining us on air and giving us their valuable insights. Thank you to Chanjal and the team in the NTV studio. As always, it's been a pleasure. Looking forward to joining you yet again on another Saturday with a more interesting topic. It's now time to log off. Thank you.